Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. So please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, another one of the 5 knives that make me happy. Thought I'd do 5 fixed blades this time. I don't think I've seen anyone doing 5 fixed blades, so I thought I'd do that one. Anyway, these are the 5 knives out of my collection that make me happy. Each one has a story, and each one really makes me happy to own. A couple of safe queens, or most of them are safe queens, and that's fine. I've got users that probably make me happy to use, but these ones are special just because they're either remind me of a special time or they're just ridiculous. And this one's the ridiculous one, but other than that, I'll go through each one anyway. First one up. This is a forearm knife I bought for Urban Conquest, and it reminds me of a time. Urban Conquest was one of the first forums that I ever went on to, and yeah, I met a lot of mates through it, and this was the first forearm knife I ever bought, and yeah, it's a safe queen as well. I've never used it. I think I've cut some paper with it, but yeah, I'd probably go its whole life never being used, which is probably a shame for it. But yeah, it just gives me pleasure to own. Beautiful little knife, and yeah, it just makes me happy looking at it, feeling it, and yeah, just a beautiful little knife. And yeah, it just makes me happy to own it. Yeah, as you can see, Urban Bunker Forum, 2011. Yeah, so yeah, that one makes me happy just owning it. Beautiful knife, made by a fella here in Australia for the Urban Conquest or Urban Bunker Forum. So yeah, that's the first one. And yeah, it has a very soft spot in my heart, so that's why it makes me happy. This one, this is my custom from Ironbark Knives, and it's yeah, it's simply beautiful. It's the first stamped Ironbark knife, and with the glow in the dark Hessian scales, the firework on it. It's just beautiful. I love it. It's got oil on the blade because it's high carbon steel. So yeah, I won't. I put ballistol on the blade, so yeah, I won't touch the blade. This one's a safe queen too. Yeah, it just makes me happy to have it. It's such a beautiful knife. Feels really good in the hand. Yeah, it gives me pleasure to own. But I'm glad I was the first one to get Lee's first Ironbark knife, stamped knife, and it's such a beautiful knife. And why wouldn't such a knife give someone pleasure to own? It's beautiful. The sheath, everything about it. It's just such a beautiful knife. He's really good maker from here in Australia. It's fantastic. I'll go on to the ridiculous one now. Svord von Temsky. This just makes me. This one's for shits and giggles. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just a beast, and yeah, again, gives me pleasure to own for no other reason. It's just ridiculous. Big Bowie, 7mm spine. No one needs something like this, but thankfully we live in a society that we don't live on need. We have wants, and this one just gives me pleasure to own, and I'm just so happy I've got it now that I've got it. I held off for a long time on buying it, and I don't know why. Now that I've got it, I have banged it into some wood. I bought it as a user. Yeah, we did some cutting on it the other day, and yeah, she is a beast. She just charges through things, and yeah, it does give me pleasure to own it. Yeah, it's such a wicked blade, and yeah, it's fantastic. Just a big chunk of 15N20 steel, and yeah, it's fantastic. Just a big ridiculous knife, and that's what what it's about. And yeah, it's fantastic, and I am glad I've got it now. So yeah, thankfully I've got it. Then on to these two. My 40th birthday present, and a Grail Knife for me, my Trail Master. And it puts a smile on my face every time I pull it out of its sheath. This one is fantastic. I love it. Ever since I saw them in the 80s, yeah, these are iconic knives. The Trail Master, I love it. It's such a beautiful knife. I haven't used it a lot. I probably never will. I don't know. It's not that I don't think it could use. It would handle it. I know it would, but yeah, it's just such a beautiful knife, and yeah, I don't know. It probably is a shame that I don't use it that often. It's still wickedly sharp from the factory, and yeah, it just gives me pleasure to own. This is the Sanmai version, VG1, made in Japan. It's just a fantastic knife. They are an iconic knife too. So glad I got it. Brings me down to my last one, my Sinclair Custom. Again, every time I pull it out of the sheath, it puts a smile on my face. It's fantastic. Big chunk of 3V. Everything I wanted in a custom. Fantastic camp knife. It's a beautiful knife. Gives me pleasure to own. Wickedly sharp. Again, bought it to use it. I haven't used it a lot. I have done a little bit of chopping with it, but yeah, I don't know. I've held off using it, but I will use it eventually more. I just haven't got around to it. Life's got in the way, as life does, and yeah, it was bought to be used, and it's got the credentials to be used hard. So 3V at 60 Rockwell, as tested, cryo treatment on it and everything. So yeah, it will perform admirably. The few tests I've done with it, it's sailed through bits of wood, no dramas whatsoever. But yeah, this is the one knife for me. If I had to choose one knife out of my collection, this would be the one I'd grab, because that and the Power Eagle. But the Power Eagle, I didn't put it in this selection. But yeah, this one just gives me pleasure to have, pick up, feel, own. It's fantastic. And that's my 5. Yeah, each one means something to me. I've got others. They all mean something to me. But yeah, these ones are special. Yeah, that's my 5. My Sinclair Custom, Ford Von Tempsky, Cold Steel Trailmaster in Sanmai, my Ironbark first stamped custom it's a bushcrafter, and my Urban Bunker forum knife. Anyway, 5 knives and fixed blades that give me pleasure or make me happy. Thanks for watching.